All right. Now, I know a lot of people on this channel have wanted me to review Empire for, well, a couple of years now. And to believe it or not, an Empire video about this topic was not what I thought the first Empire video would be about. But I want to be honest here. This video is not going to have all of my thoughts on it because, first of all, I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. I actually just listened to a news report. Hang on.
Jussile Mollett early Tuesday.
Jussile, hang on a sec.
There
we go. So I don't want to butcher the name, so I'll just say, I'll just you fill in the gaps there if you will with the name. But allegedly, more news is pouring out day by day, and whenever news stories like this break, because believe it or not, I think this was Tuesday night, early Wednesday when I first saw it blowing up. And I saw his face pretty much everywhere online. I saw his name trending on Twitter and Google, and I'm like, whenever something like that happens, your first instinct is, oh snap, so-and-so probably just died or whatever. So I looked it up, and all I saw was like hate crime, and two people jumped him, news, unknown chemical. And, I'm just seeing all these different things and a lot of outpouring of love and support from, fellow actors and celebrities and what have you. And then as time moved on, if you ever want to lose your faith in humanity, whatever you have left, I was actually talking with a friend of mine earlier today about, just humanity in general and the fact that, yeah, if I were to describe my level of faith in humanity at this point, imagine a car that's pretty much out of gas and it's literally running on fumes. That's where I'm at right now. And if you really want to decrease your level of faith in humanity, just look at the comment sections on YouTube videos, Facebook posts, articles, what have you. And yeah, I had some raw thoughts about the situation. I'm not going to lie. Was I going to post about them? Not really what I do. I only really did this video because a lot of people commented on various other videos of mine about my thoughts, and I even made a post about it in the community tab because I was going to make a video on yesterday because I was like, well, apparently the people who attacked them yelled out, "This is MAGA, MAGA, Make America Great Again." Every time I hear that phrase, I think manga, comic books and whatnot, but this is MAGA country, and I was thinking instantly, it's like that took me back to a couple weeks ago when there was the MAGA hat controversy where we had that teenager in that photo standing in front of the Native American that was there for his own kind of protest, and the story instantly went viral about this kid was disrespectful and this and that. But then the full video of the situation came out, and the kid was on the news talking about how he got death threats and whatnot. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it was announced that Trump invited this kid, or what was he, a middle school student or whatever? He invited him to the White House, and I still haven't looked into all the details of that, but that's just a prime example as to why I did not make a video on that instantly, because people, well, companies and whatnot, websites, they will just make a headline, take like a buzzword, put it in the headline and make it clickbait. Next thing you know, it's gone viral and everything goes wrong. Because when I first saw this news, I'm instantly thinking, well, these dudes yelled out MAGA country or whatnot. And it's kind of funny how, okay, let's say this kid was disrespectful to the Indian chief and the Indian protester and whatnot, and as a reward, he gets invited to the White House despite getting death threats and whatnot. If he was being a little prick and whatnot, he gets quote unquote rewarded. But then when you have these people who are alleged Trump supporters who attack an African American who happens to also be from the LGBT community, I hope I said the initials right. Nothing is said. There's silence. And then yesterday he put out a tweet about it, and that's why I'm waiting to do a full-scale video. So yes, I had some raw thoughts about it, but when it happened, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't surprised. And I'm not saying that as in, what, Jeremy, are you saying because he's gay and he's black, he deserved to be jumped? No, what I'm saying is I wouldn't put that kind of action past this country anymore because of everything that's going on in the news and whatnot today that we see. Who knows how many other African Americans, gay people, or both get into situations like this and come out even worse on a day-to-day basis. I mean, what was it, a few weeks ago, or even the last couple of weeks, you know, we had these reports of these youngsters in like elementary school and whatnot taking their own lives because they're bullied for either being gay, or what was it, that unfortunate story where the one boy, he had like a health problem or something, and he was made fun of because of some kind of like medical device or whatever that he had to keep on him, and he committed suicide because of that, because he was being teased and bullied so much. So I just, to see almost like the tar and feathering of a black homosexual male in this country, I wouldn't put it past, you know, the people that we live with in this country today. So, you know, looking at all these different podcasts and articles and celebrities, well, and I don't mean to single people out, but some white people who are talking about it, saying like, you know, I was surprised when I saw that happen. It's like, really? Seriously, really? So as I'm looking into the story, even now, it is the 1st of February, 2:26 p.m. I'm still checking out different sources because more and more news keeps leaking in. What was it, 2 a.m.? He was going to a Subway. These two guys jumped on him, beat him down, poured bleach in his face, put a noose around his neck, yelled out, "This is MAGA country," ran off. Apparently they had masks on, and this went down in Chicago. And apparently, what, like 40 some minutes later, he makes it back to his apartment or wherever he was staying. The cops show up and he still has the noose around his neck. Then he refuses to give up his cell phone. So yes, let me just put it this way. I do believe he made a statement a couple hours ago, speaking out for the first time, saying that his body is okay, but, you know, his soul and his spirit, you know, that's still healing. First of all, I'm glad it didn't end up worse than what it was. Let me just put it that way. I hope he is able to recover. But there's just so much missing in this story, because when it first came out, you know, people were in outrage. How in the world are these news outlets calling it, you know, a possible hate crime or an alleged hate crime because of what happened? As somebody who studied advertising and whatnot in media, it is easy to see why they would say that, because if it turned out it wasn't what the majority say it was, like if it was a racial, homophobic hate crime, then these companies could potentially be sued. But that's not to say in previous cases where, let's say, a white victim was, you know, on the receiving end of violence, you know, they called it for what it was. But when it's a black person, it's like, you know, oh, allegedly, or this black celebrity died, so it had to be drugs. But when this white celebrity died, it had to be because of depression or something like that, even if drugs were involved. I can definitely see how people will be on the fence about it, but for a company's sake, they really got to be careful about how they identify. So this isn't me being, you know, sympathetic towards these companies. This is just me trying to be understanding to how these businesses think, because that's one thing we really need to be careful of in today's time. Instead of acting on our gut reaction to this kind of news, we need to wait for a little bit, get all the sources, because it's easy when you see something trending, you see a bunch of things in reference to it about hate, racism, this, that. But then give it 2 or 3 days and you'll find more things roll out to the story that we didn't know beforehand. And it actually changes things. Now, a lot of people are saying, you know, this was a hoax, or, you know, maybe it was an ex-lover or something. I don't know. Apparently, TMZ got news about him receiving hate mail or something threatening him. And even when he was offered security, he declined it. And this was like a couple of days or a week before the incident on Tuesday. So like I said, there are some things that aren't adding up. But let me just say this much. Once again, you know, let's say if this were let's say it was what it was called as, a hate crime. He was just minding his own business. 2 guys literally came out of nowhere to attack him because of his race and sexuality, and you know, did what they did to him. Yeah, that's messed up. And despite like all the best wishes and prayers and support from everybody, you know, reaching out to him, that's all well and good. Trust me, it really is. But, you know, he'll never be able to like walk down the street the same way again. You know, he's always going to be looking over his shoulder and whatnot. So yeah, after you get jumped like that, that's definitely going to not only change your outlook on other people, but how you move in your day-to-day life. So definitely hope he can recover from that. But yeah, I just want to say that as more news gets revealed and this story is, cracked down, I hope they catch whoever did this. That's one thing, because apparently those two guys wearing masks or whatnot. But yeah, I just, yeah, it's sad. It really is. But like I said before, I'm not really surprised because of the kind of country we live in today. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It damn, this is something else. But like I said, this is 2019. This is the United States we live in, and I remember what another thing that kind of like really people, when Kevin Hart made a statement about it, and everybody's like, man, what are you making a statement for? You refuse to be an ally of the the gay community and whatnot with your tweets. I'm like, for real? Like, I'm just tired of hearing about the whole Kevin Hart tweet thing. Like, you don't have to be an ally for a specific group of people to feel pain, when somebody feels pain. Like, let's say if you were a white person and you have a friend that's black, and your friend that was black got jumped by, three guys who just happen to be of three different races. And just because you aren't black doesn't mean you can't feel sympathy or send your best wishes to your black friend to get better. So just because Kevin Hart isn't a quote unquote ally of the gay community, that doesn't instantly make him an enemy of the gay community. And for him to actually show some love to somebody who was a victim of a alleged hate crime because of his sexuality and as well as his race, what the hell? It's like people will find anything to critique, complain, and just go on and on about. So I know your thoughts on this. I really want to get a discussion going, and let's keep it civil in the comments below. And once again, as more news comes out, if we ever get a conclusion to the story, because I would hope that this isn't some kind of publicity stunt or a hoax, because if anything, that would just diminish like these real victims out there who are beaten down and whatnot because of who they are, who they support, who they worship and whatnot. So once again, I hope he is able to have a speedy recovery, and the full story, I hope we get it soon. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, as well as leaving your thoughts in the comment section below so we can keep the conversation going. On the left hand side of the screen, you should see a picture of Jeffrey Harrington. You can click on him in order to subscribe, but also hit the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content. Also, you should see some videos appearing on the screen as well that I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy if you enjoyed the one you just saw. But also, be sure to follow me on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links to all my social media will be in the description below. And in order to help this channel hit 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to need your help. So make sure to share this video as well as the channel around with all of your friends on your own social media. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.